Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be playing some Alchemy Best of 3. In the event I do qualify for next month's MIQ, it is Best of 3. And this weekend's been the Neon Dynasty Championship Series, and it's a split format, Alchemy and Historic. Jim Davis, the last I checked, was 8-0 in the format, and he and his team brought a Grixis Rakdos Splash Blue Kaido Suzuki Midrange deck to the format. So something I wanted to check out, see how it plays out. And there's kind of a lot of new innovative tech in this deck, and a card that's kind of been played really out of nowhere in the format, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So Chapter 1, you get a 2/2 Shaman that makes treasures. Chapter 2, discard up to 2, draw that many cards. Chapter 3, you get a copy. You get to make copies. You get a creature that is basically Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker that lets you copy things. Creatures each turn as for tokens. So you got City Stalker Connoisseur. You can make your opponent discard a bunch of stuff on their upkeep, or like just kind of shred their hand. Town Razor Tyrant, blow up all their lands. Graveyard Trespasser, eat a lot of things in the graveyard. Blood Tithe Harvester, kind of get a lot of treasure, but make 3/2s that can be sacked to kill things. Rahilda, legendary, so it doesn't really work, but kind of gives you the idea there. Lots of removal in the deck, so it's a mix. You got Flame Blessed Bolt, Voltage Surge, so you have treasures as well as blood from Blood Tithe Harvester, City Stalker Connoisseur, stuff like that. The treasures from here, and then some burn or like hard removal, Power Word Kill, Abrade, Duresses to eat at the hand, and then Kaido draws you a bunch of cards along with Sorin. In the sideboard, we're going to be playing some best of 3. Don't usually do on the channel, but we'll give it a shot. Annul versus the enchantments decks. Duress for control. Disdainful Stroke versus big mana. Soul Transfer is just general exile removal. Some Scavengers versus the aggro-based decks. Another Sorin for the grindier matchups. Mind Flayer to take like your opponent's big creatures. And then Meat Hook for the more weenie-like strategies. So let's give this a shot. I've not played Alchemy Best of 3 in probably a month and a half, maybe. There was the case where, like, we're Mythic top 750 ish. We might be down paired to like Platinum. So we'll see how this kind of works out. Also, this might take a while to find a game. We're going to give it a shot. This deck looked really cool, so I wanted to try it out. And I don't think it's good enough for Historic to necessarily try it out, so we'll give it a shot here and see how it plays out. We'll see how long this wait takes. That's part of the concern. We take like... There's a lot of like back and forth with Alchemy. It's not real Magic. It ruined Historic, but like none of those cards saw play in Historic. Okay, so we're playing number 83 Mythic. I think we keep this. So we'll lead red here. What would have been nice potentially is that this Flame Blessed Bolt was Duress. That way we could make sure Rahilda comes down clean. But we'll see what the opponent's on. If they're on an aggressive deck. This is actually not bad. If they are blue-white control, getting down Saito next turn, they might be inclined to play something on their turn because of Rahilda, which we see. So there's definitely value here in getting Saito going. With the right tools, I can do it. We have 2 threats now that they'll need to answer. We have Town Raise that could come down. So in this matchup, this is where like having the blue is really beneficial. Because we get to bring in a bunch of counters post board. So this could be a Doomscar from them. Most likely is, but now we get to tax their land for 2 points of damage each turn. And then next turn I get to play out both of these. This can deal with a Planeswalker potentially, so I think we just discard the land here. So this does flip us back tonight. They could have Divine Purge, they could have another sweeper. That's fine. I think we do this. Not really what we wanted to see, but Sorin here is great. Let's discard you. Again, just trying to differentiate our threats. They have a couple Planeswalkers. Farewell doesn't hit Planeswalkers. Might see them finally give up on this lineup. They're just taking the damage. So City Stalker is really good with Kiki-Jiki.
I know something you don't know.
So that takes me to 7 mana next turn. So I'm actually okay, I think, this turn just deploying the City Stalker. It could get rid of a Farewell, perhaps. And then next turn, if needed, I could play out both of these. Okay, so no sweeper bodes really well. And if not, then I can just start Kiki-Jikiing every turn.
Slowing things down is just as delightful as speeding things up.
Just kind of eat away at their hand that way. Could see the Wandering Emperor. You gonna take 2 again? So they could kill this in response. So we don't get that. Probably need to hit Tef here.
You're more cunning than I thought.
Let's keep trying to push for this.
Now this is a juicy secret.
Could make another vampire, but I think we're just taking off the top at this point.
My ways are not.
Are you legendary? No. So this gives me some progression here. So I'm going to hold off on playing out Graveyard Trespasser. Devious Cover-Up. That one's annoying. So if they're going to try to win through looping Devious Cover-Up, I'm probably just going to exile it. We're getting close to Kaido Ultimate. can fetch City Stalkers. Okay, it's fine.
Head wasn't in it.
Second here.
Okay, that's annoying. So we're gonna take out Tef here. So let me see if we could hit a land. So I can Cyto here, draw a card, and then that lets me the following turn Duress.
No secret is safe from me. Now, what do
So the decision is, do I want to Duress this turn or next? It's probably next turn. Cyto's protected this turn. This Sorin could potentially just 13 our opponent. They haven't really hit lands either, which bodes well for us. Let's see what's happening. Show me your secrets! One thing to keep in mind, they have these Field of Ruins. Yikes. Fateful, Divide. I think we're getting rid of Divide by 0 here.
the fun just started?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could Rahilda. I could Kiki Jiki. You're 5 mana though, so I can't do both. So we're probably, because that'll bait out the counter, so then they can't deluge this turn. So it's probably this line.
I bring my own.
This can deal 4 to Planeswalker. Because if we don't do that, like, they just deluge and try to find a sweeper. Like this, we kind of force them. Let's see what we find here. So Kaido really kept us in this game, as well as this Sorin. That's great.
Can't fix everything, but we can. Now this.
So we're just gonna keep kind of threatening up with this. That's a great one to get to.
Blood for knowledge.
And I'm just gonna play this out. The reason being is we have a lot of crap in our hand, so next turn I can just discard it. They need to find themselves a sweeper, which they likely will. but then I have access to Hive of the Eye Tyrant. I have Kaido and Soren that can make 2 more tokens. They need land. So like Divine Purge makes it so they can keep Field of Ruin up. I guess they could field and then sweep. I don't know where the clock went. Okay, so they clear a set of basics. So this can deal with like a Tef. I think this turn, let's...
I've got all kinds.
I'm gonna move this up. And again, just try to get them to answer what I have on the board. We have a lot of removal in this matchup that should be coming out. Like we see all these power road kills, stuff like that. If these are counter spells, they get a lot better. Teferi's looking to slow things down here.
Time mage? You have to put in the hours.
So I guess maybe it was better to play Blood Tithe. So doing this now.
This is hardly my worst.
They don't get the life.
Eternal question. Win the quick way or the fun?
This could be Wandering Emperor for them. I kind of don't want them to get the learn value off. Because they can get the card draw one or mascot exhibition, like Teaching of the Archaics.
I know something you do.
When you're outdrawing the control deck,
You wish to know my secrets.
so minor thing here, I'm gonna hold off on this Blood Tithe Harvester because I can give it haste with Kiki Jiki. It's also a threat post-combat if they have a sweeper here. And like Soren's ticking up now, so they need to answer my board, answer my planeswalkers. Saito might just be minus if they have a sweeper here. Yep. City Stalker's great here. It's another card out of their hand. Hullbreaker Horror. That's great. 18 cards.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
So we have Kiki Jiki coming down.
It's like your defenses.
I think I'm just gonna do this. Soren ults next turn, so they need an answer to my board plus an answer to my Soren. So they need like Sweeper plus Fateful Absence or Otherworldly Light. Got him. Outgranded. Oh, that was best of one. Jeez. Not even best of 3. I was wondering why there was no clock. Forgot to switch. Best of 3. That was a good game though. We still had a Town Race Tyrant that could have tacked onto land. Well, they had a lot of lands that game. The Planeswalkers in this deck let you kind of pressure around, like Divine Purge, yeah, not Devote Decree. Devote Decree is the 2-mana exile black or red creature, or a spell. We also had a Lulf left in the deck for just like looking at what options we had. Beating number 80-ish, what were they on the ladder? Like 80-ish? Moved us from 750 to 613, which isn't too shabby. This is the downside of the best of 3 alchemy ladder. Let's see if we even we got player down to platinum. Opponent goes first. I think a big thing that game we saw, like Saito helps us as well as Kiki-Jiki, the wrong half problem. So in a normal game of Magic, like a mid-range deck with all that removal doesn't really bode well. Hand looks decent. 1, 2, 3. Prefer to be on the play, but if this is against like auras, it's not great start. But let's see. Ivorino. Alright. Opponent woke up and chose Anger. Not even waiting. Okay, well, their hand is poops, as the kids call it. Opponent's gonna learn a valuable lesson. About blowing all your play with fires. So they need to answer this now. If not, I just kind of run away with this game. Looks like their mono red burn, kind of aggro. That's fine. I get to go Saito here. And here I'm gonna just take the chance. I'm gonna differentiate my threats.
I got someone on the inside who can help.
I have this City Stalker that can attack at their hand. Okay, so the fact they let me do that bodes pretty well for us. We are hitting a pretty heavy pile of lands, but the nice thing is this will make us a treasure, or a blood token. Is it like Goldspan Dragon? No, just lands. Opponents on only lands. So this is definitely like a meat hook in matchup where you're going to want the life gain, which will be relevant. I'm going to probably pop this food. Cool. Opponent did draw a lot of lands. So this matchup, probably want the Soaring for the life linker. I don't know how many creatures they're on. Town Raiser doesn't do anything. Probably don't want all these City Stalkers. Probably trim a Kiki. Gonna get rid of the duress. So part of the reason with getting rid of the duress is it's unlikely they have a lot of cards in hand, and we're only playing 2 in the main. We're not going to add more. I don't know how creature heavy they are, so I'm going to split it like this, I think. I just want ways to gain life. It looks like they might just be straight burn if they are, but usually they play like Bloodthirsty Adversary, or not, Bloodthirsty. The red vampire that gets kicked. Having more copies of Sorin, just make it the 2/3 lifelinker. Anything that forces them to have to 2-for-1 themselves to answer. That game goes a lot different if opponent just holds their burn, like just a little earlier. Because going turn 2 or Hilda into triple Fight with Fire is not the hand you want to see. So we're probably looking with the hand. Again, like I don't know how many creatures they have. We didn't see any. Come on, opponent. What you doing? What you doing? You roping me? You mad? Don't be mad. Be glad. Come on. Come on. That's not the hand we want. This hand's good. I'm gonna put Power Word Kill away. It's gonna be Harvester into Graveyard Trespasser. Play this on 1, this on 2, they might kill it. This can eat it, gain us a life. Connoisseur attack something in their hand. This needs them to 2-for-1 themselves. How many Trespassers? 2 Trespassers. I think that'd be the only thing. I'd probably want 1 more Trespasser. They're just really good. Did we break the simulation, folks? Alright, either opponent's salty, or they got disconnected. So the only thing, we do need double black in some instances, but I don't think our opponent's here to play. Alright, so the games we did play, this deck felt really sweet. So shout out to Jim Davis and team. Hopefully he can get through and take home the championship, win a big stack of cash. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Definitely a cool deck. If you like Grixis, we might finally have a playable Grixis deck. Liked a lot of what was happening here. Just a lot of cool cards, like Kiki Jiki was sweet. Connoisseur just overperforms, same with Rahilda, stuff like that. But let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.